here it is. First episode, official, YouTube. We're doing it. This is really happening. I'm really excited. This is going to be great. Thank you for your time, for watching. If you're here, you've probably already seen the introduction. I did a couple little intro videos to kind of warm myself up as to what I was going to be doing. And basically what this is I match beers with horror/genre movies that I think they go well together. And this is my first official episode, so welcome to the channel. The channel is called PINT FRIGHT. So, little play on words there. I think this is going to go well. I'm not sure. I was going to do a couple videos tonight, so maybe by the third video, 3 beers in, you know, I might be a little bit more loosey-goosey, as they say. I've got my little chest burst alien figure, Leatherface. I like to decorate my set, which is just a counter for the moment, until I get settled in my new room. But I got my Devil's Tiki, gotta support my team no matter what. The horror things I'll have around, and especially later on, when I'm in my room and I'm set up and I have my desk and all my films behind me and maybe some posters. The things I'll have up aren't necessarily related to the film I'll be talking about. They're just for the horror theme or genre movies. So I'm going to get right into it. This first beer, I had it this week and I immediately thought of a movie that it would go well with. I've been doing that a lot lately. Once I'll have a beer, I'll go, you know what? I'm starting to think more what kind of video I can make, what movie it'll go with. And in about 8 seconds, I knew exactly which movie to talk about and why they go together. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. It's called Maleche. And this is a very unique beer. It is a ice cream beer. So right away, very interesting stuff. I'm going to open it up. This is a 4.5 alcohol by volume, so a very light beer. You know, 3 or 4 of these isn't gonna knock you on your ass. It's brewed by Les Brasseurs du Monde, and it is just says it's just a regular light beer, ice cream flavored beer. It's a white beer. So let's get into it. Pour it in here. Oh my God, crisp blonde. Get that? I can smell it from here right away. You get this smell of sweet and just beer, like straight up beer, like a Canadian a Coors Light, very lager, very beery, if that makes sense. And the reason why I thought about the movie that I thought about, which I'm going to get into, when I had this is because as soon as I tried it, I knew, okay, this is a beer that if you like it, you love it. If you don't like it, you absolutely hate it. And that's how I feel about the movie as well. So I'm going to get into it here. You kind of smell a little bit of vanilla. It smells sweet. But other than that, it smells like just a straight regular beer. Like any kind of regular beer you'd find on tap. Or if you're out having a night at the bar drinking, and then you just have a few and then they all start smelling the same thing, just like alcohol. Okay. Yeah, so first sip tastes just like beer, regular beer, and in about 1.3 seconds you're flooded, your mouth is flooded with sweet, creamy vanilla. Sweet vanilla, creamy, but you still got that back taste of the beer, so it's very weird. And then it finishes with, it's a smooth finish. So it's weird because you get beer, then you get ice cream, and then you get beer ice cream. I'm a fan of this beer. I really like it. It's one of those beers where you have it or you get it as like a gift for somebody. Hey, this is really unique, try this out. I wouldn't see somebody deliberately going out and getting 4 or 5, 6 of them for their night out. But if you want to go for an experience, if you want to go for something where you can just enjoy it. You don't have to think, oh, I can taste the little caramels, or this is a heavy beer. You got to drink it with a certain at a certain temperature. You got to pair it with a certain cheese for the flavors to really. This beer, you take it for face value. It is what it is. It's an ice cream white beer. Don't look for much else. You're not going to get it. But it's unique. It's enjoyable. It's light. Yeah, I can already think of a couple of my friends who would love this beer and a couple who would make them gag. That's how polarizing this beer is. I can guarantee you. I like it. And that's the main draw of the movie I thought about when I had this. Don't like it, hate it. Kind of like it, love it. And that film is John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars. This film, I watched this as I was young, I was a kid, maybe 9, 10, and I loved it. I loved it. Obviously, as a kid, there are some horror elements. It's a horror action film. John Carpenter, well known for doing The Thing, Halloween, a masterclass horror director. This one kind of slips under the radar because it wasn't well received by critics, and it also wasn't really well received by fans. A lot of people didn't like this movie. But there are those of us who, we die by it. We love this film. Now, the reason why it didn't go over well with people is because they were expecting grade A horror, and they got C+, B- horror, but they got A-, B+ action. This movie has great action, great special effects. It has Ice Cube. You have Jason Statham with hair. When he had hair. And you have Pam Grier is in here. Yeah, Pam Grier. She plays like this. Well, I'm going to get into the movie. I don't want to give too much away because I expect people to at least be interested by the movies I talk about and look into them. And I want them to have a little bit of surprise if they haven't seen the movie before. So, with the title Ghosts of Mars, your mind can go through 1,000 different things. What is a ghost? What does it have to do with Mars? What's going on? Well, the premise is, it's in the future, obviously. If you're having ghosts and you're having them on Mars, you got to be in the future. Even if we are going to be in the future ourselves, whenever you watch this movie, it's going to take place later, because that shit doesn't just happen. So, you have this group of police mercenaries who get a call to go to this colony on Mars, and they have to transfer a very dangerous criminal played by Ice Cube to another place. It's very... You don't watch this movie for the plot. You don't watch Ghosts of Mars for the plot. It's one of those movies, same thing with the beer. You're not going in going, let me think about it. Let me digest. No, face value. Ghosts of Mars, ice cream beer. You're going to have a good time. Lay back. Turn off the plot holes. There's a few plot holes in here. Once they arrive on Mars, you're thinking, how are they going to breathe? Are they going to have... Because this movie came out early 2000s. This movie came out 2001. You're thinking, are they going to walk around with crazy masks all the time? No, they breathe through space goggles, which kind of look like badminton goggles, to be honest with you. Very gimmicky. There's a lot of cheesy moments in the film. Cheesy dialogue. Cheesy tongue-in-cheek jokes. There was even a moment where they break the fourth wall. That is extremely rare for a movie that's trying to build tension and trying to build edge of your seat action. Get a little burpy here. That's what happens when you have beer here. No judgment. Drink with me. This is what this channel is about. Letting go, drinking delicious beer, enjoying movies. So yeah, they're on Mars and they gotta find Ice Cube and transfer them, but then when they get there, there's nobody, and they're freaking out, like, what's going on? And as the plot progresses, they start finding bodies and body parts, and then the more it goes, the more you find out that there's this kind of red gas that possesses these people, and they start self-mutilating, and they become like these savage monster zombie creatures. It's weird. It's very weird. But they kind of look like, this is the main villain here, and they speak in this weird Mars language. Pretty crazy shit. Pretty crazy shit. But the practical effects are great. There's these weird piercings, and they're digging into their own faces, and they're carving themselves, and there's some great visceral imagery in this film. But again, you're not going in for the grade A acting, you're not going in for the plot. The action is phenomenal. I love this. This is one of those movies too where I loved it as a kid because I went on this adventure with these characters, horror elements, action, and the action kind of took away from the horror. So even though it was scary for me, watching Ice Cube and Jason Statham, you know, battle these foes, I was into it. I was like, okay, cool, they can be defeated. It's like a cool military type action film. So as it progresses, you find out, because Ice Cube is like this criminal, I think he's killing people, but then you find out that it's not him, it's these ghosts of Mars that are doing it. So the cops and the crooks have to work together to get home safe, which home is, I don't remember if it's Earth or some other fucking planet, but great movie. Shut the brain off, enjoy it. It's one of those movies where when I was a kid, I watched it, I enjoyed it, and I thought watching it later on as an adult, after having seen so many different movies, I would not be as interested in it. I would mostly like it for the nostalgia factor. Wrong. Still holds up in my book. Like I said, a lot of people don't like the movie because it is ridiculous. It's about ghosts on Mars, even though there's kind of not really any ghosts. It's just this gas that gets into you, and then once it's into you, you kind of go spaced out, and you start, you know, scratching at yourself. Kind of like a crack addict. I've seen some crack addicts do the same shit, to be honest with you. Crack addicts of Mars. Great action. There's a strong female lead in this film. And then once they start working together, Ice Cube, they kind of do this cool back-to-back combo where you have the crook guy who bends all the rules, and the straightforward lady cop who doesn't bend for nobody, and they have to work together. There's a lot of different themes. That's why this film a lot of people don't like it, is because there's so many clashing themes and different aspects, and they just threw everything at the wall, and whatever stuck stayed, and that's what you get. Face value film, Ghosts of Mars. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend the beer. They go great together. Beginning of the movie, right away. You go, okay, this is what I'm in for. Straight, you get that beer taste. Okay, it's beer. Then you get this really unique ice cream, creamy flavor, which is very weird for this type of beer. Same thing with the movie. You go, okay, I'm in for this, and you go, oh, it's better than I thought it would be. There's a lot of substance. There's a lot of action, and the characters banter and dialogue between each other, the back and forth. Works well in most of the scenes. Some of them it doesn't. It's very cheesy. And then you finish the beer ice cream. The movie finishes, you get, okay, I can see why some people wouldn't like it, and I can see why some would like it. And then it's up to you to decide which of those categories you fall into. Like I said, I've talked to a lot of people about, hey, have you seen Ghosts of Mars? Ugh, I hate that fucking movie. But the people who do love it, nobody ever goes, oh yeah, I saw it, not too bad. They'll either tell you I hated it, or they'll go, oh fuck, Ghosts of Mars, I watched that, I love that movie. I used to rent it all the time. Great practical effects, very gory. There's a lot of gore in the film. Highly recommend it. These two go excellent together. Recommend the beer, recommend the film. This is my first episode, So leave in the comment section below what you liked, what you didn't like, what I should improve on. Like I said, this is just a little makeshift thing I got going on at the moment. With time, I have a microphone already. I'm going to plug that in, get that going. Better audio quality. I'm going to have a better setup than this fucking white background with the door. It's going to be awesome. I hope you guys are in it to win it. That's something my grandma used to say. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you guys follow me on this adventure, and we'll see where it goes. I will be doing giveaways. I'm not sure at which milestones. Depends on maybe at 100 subscribers or whatever. I'll be giving away like Blu-ray copies of films, DVD copies all sealed. At some point, depending on where you are, I'd love to give like actual box sets with the beer and the film that I recommend. You get a little thing. Sometime in the future, if there's an audience for it, I'll be doing live viewings of films or reactions. Like we'll watch the movie and then react and talk about it live, of course. Beer talk, where we can just all have a live chat, drink different beers, recommend beers to each other. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and put out at least one video per week because I got to get my drink on. That is fucking crazy. So, like, comment, subscribe, or don't. Whatever. I just hope you have fun watching the video, and I hope you continue to follow. So, thank you for your time. I got you covered when it comes to beer and horror.